At the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Ray. Ray is a professional rescue worker. His primary job is to save people from dangerous accidents in extreme situations. Ray's wife's name is Emma. Emma wants a divorce from Ray, mainly because she has developed a relationship with Daniel after their marriage. Emma wants to marry Daniel after divorcing Ray. This beautiful girl is Ray's daughter, and her name is Blake. San Andreas is a city in America. For a few days, occasional earthquakes have been observed around the city. A seismologist named Lawrence and his friend Kim have developed a device. This device can predict earthquakes before they occur. With this prediction, many lives can be saved. To test this device, they go to a dam in a place called Nevada. There, they aim to record ground vibrations. While Kim was recording the ground's vibrations using the device, it suddenly detected some large tremors. Kim immediately informed Lawrence that the world was on the verge of a major disaster. A massive earthquake was about to occur. As soon as Kim mentioned this, the ground began to shake. Kim wanted to flee the area. Both sides of the dam broke, and water started gushing out. People started running and screaming in panic. Kim was running to save his life when he saw a terrified girl sitting in a corner. He went to save the girl, picked her up in his arms, and started running. Everything around them was collapsing. Suddenly, the road ahead broke apart, and Kim got trapped under the debris. A metal rod pierced his leg, leaving him with no chance of survival. Lawrence wanted to save Kim, but Kim told him to leave immediately as there was no hope for him. He urged Lawrence to leave so others could be saved. At that very moment, a massive wave of water came, and the ground collapsed, completely destroying the area in an instant. Meanwhile, Ray went to Daniel's house to meet his wife and daughter. When Ray arrived, he was shocked to see that Emma was already living with Daniel even before the divorce. Despite this, he didn't say much. Ray told his daughter, "You have a volleyball match today. Let me drop you off." At that moment, Daniel said, "I'll drop her off. After the divorce, they will be staying with me. I will take full responsibility for them." Ray left without saying much, and Emma followed him. Emma told Ray not to feel hurt. Although Ray was deeply hurt, he didn't express it much. He simply said, "I'll sign the divorce papers and send them over. Take care." Saying this, he left. Blake went with Daniel to his office, which was the tallest building in the city. There, she met Ben and his younger brother Ollie. Ben had come to the office for a job interview. Meanwhile, Ray called Emma. Ray apologized to Emma for his behavior earlier. While they were talking, the spoons on the table began to move, and the ground started to shake. Emma informed Ray that an earthquake had started. Ray immediately asked, "Where are you?" "I'm coming right now. Just get to the rooftop of the building with everyone who is with you." At Daniel's office, Daniel and Blake were about to leave when the earthquake started. A part of the parking area collapsed, causing their car to fall into the debris. Their driver died on the spot, and Blake's leg got stuck in the wreckage. Daniel told Blake to stay put, saying he would find help for her. Although Blake asked him not to leave her alone, Daniel ignored her and left to seek help. He approached a security guard for assistance and explained that a girl was trapped in the debris. While Daniel was seeking help, Ben and his brother Ollie were hurriedly leaving the office. Ben overheard Daniel's words and realized that Blake was in danger. Understanding the situation, Ben decided to help Blake. However, Daniel fled to save his own life. On the other hand, Emma was trying to reach the rooftop of the building. Around her, the destruction continued as parts of the building collapsed one by one. Ray arrived there with his helicopter. To rescue Emma, he lowered a hanging ladder. While Emma was climbing up, the building collapsed, engulfing everything in smoke and dust. For a moment, Ray thought he had lost Emma, but the next moment he saw Emma hanging onto the ladder. Ray managed to save Emma with great effort. Meanwhile, Blake called her father, Ray, and said, "Dad, I'm trapped in the parking area of Daniel's office under the debris. Please save me." Ray reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, I'm coming." "Where's Daniel?" Blake replied, "He left me here and ran away." Emma, sitting next to Ray, overheard the conversation and was shocked. She couldn't believe that Daniel, whom she was about to marry, would do something like this. At the same time, Ben and his brother Ollie came to rescue Blake. The building was gradually collapsing, so they wasted no time and quickly got out of there. Blake said, "My dad is searching for me with a helicopter. We need to call him somehow." However, at that time, all kinds of networks were down. Because of the earthquake, everything was gradually being destroyed. Blake informed them, "I need to find an electronics store." Blake was an electrical engineer by profession. She was searching for an electronics store so she could somehow call her father using her father's satellite phone. Blake, Ben, and Ollie found an electronics store together. There, Blake somehow managed to call her father. On the call, she said, "Dad, everything here is collapsing. Where should I go?" Ray replied, "Head to the tallest place in the city, the Quiet Tower where we once went for dinner. Go there so I can easily spot you." Ray also asked, "Are you alone, or is someone with you?" Blake responded, "Someone came to Daniel's office for an interview. I met him. His name is Ben. Ben, his younger brother Ollie, and I are together." Ray said, "All right, you all go there. I'll come to get you." Blake asked her father, "Dad, are you and Mom together?" Just then her mother replied, "Yes, we are together." Hearing this, Blake felt somewhat relieved despite the adverse situation. Ray was heading towards his daughter's location in a helicopter when suddenly a malfunction occurred. The helicopter started losing control. Ray told Emma, "We need to make an emergency landing anywhere. The helicopter has become uncontrollable." As he was saying this, the helicopter completely lost control and crashed in front of a shopping mall. Emma got slightly injured. They somehow got out of the helicopter. After exiting, they saw people running and screaming everywhere. Meanwhile, some opportunists were looting various stores. Ray and Emma got into a car parked there and began driving to find the nearest airport. Traveling by road at that time meant risking their lives, so they searched for an airport where they could charter a plane or helicopter to save their daughter. They soon found an airport and managed to get a plane. While flying over the city, they faced another danger. The plane's fuel ran out. Ray told Emma, "Our plane is out of fuel. It could crash at any moment. We must jump with parachutes." Emma got scared and said, "I've never jumped before." Ray reassured her, "Don't worry, I'm here." Ray was experienced in such matters as he was a professional rescue worker. He jumped with Emma, and with the help of the parachute, they somehow landed on the ground. This time, they survived. After landing, they wondered how they would find their daughter since the roads were almost destroyed and traveling by air was not feasible. Ray then managed to find a speedboat. Ray and Emma started heading towards their destination by water. But misfortune was not leaving them alone. A massive tsunami caused by the earthquake appeared ahead of them on the waterway. Emma noticed the tsunami first and shouted, "Look, what's coming our way?" They saw the seawater rising high due to the tsunami and rushing towards them. Ray said, "We must somehow get to the other side of the wave before it crashes on us. Then we'll survive." Ray increased the speed of the boat to its maximum and headed towards the crest of the wave. Several other speedboats were also attempting the same. Amidst this, one of the speedboats overturned due to the impact of the waves. When Ray and Emma's speedboat reached the top of the wave, a massive ship suddenly appeared in front of them. The ship's rotating propellers came dangerously close to their boat. Huge containers from the ship started falling around their speedboat. Ray somehow managed to steer the boat to safety. They saw the massive tsunami wave crashing over a large bridge, completely destroying it. Water began entering the city. People started screaming and running in fear. After all, the fear of death is the greatest fear. Water began flooding the streets through various alleys of the city. At that moment, a large ship overturned due to the wave, and several containers started falling off it. One of those containers crushed Daniel, leading to his death. Meanwhile, Blake heard a government announcement through a wireless phone. The announcement stated that a massive tsunami had flooded the city, and everyone was advised to take shelter in high places. Blake, Ollie, and Ben took shelter in a tall building. On the other hand, Ray and Emma were roaming around the city in the speedboat, searching for their daughter. While searching, they eventually arrived in front of the building where Blake, Ben, and Ollie had taken shelter. Ray and Emma spotted them and screamed in joy. Blake looked delighted as she had lost hope of survival. But as Ray was about to rescue her, another disaster struck. The building began to collapse just as the tsunami waves struck it. Water started entering the building. Blake, Ben, and Ollie began floating in the water. Blake went underwater, and Ollie was swept away by the waves. Somehow, Ben held onto his brother Ollie and saved him. He placed Ollie on a high staircase and went to look for Blake. Meanwhile, Blake's father, Ray, jumped into the water and entered the building. He searched underwater for his daughter and eventually found her. But there was a glass wall between them, which they couldn't break. Blake began losing consciousness as she had swallowed a lot of water. Ray noticed a small opening nearby. He went through it and rescued his daughter. However, by then, Blake had lost consciousness. The water level continued rising and the building started collapsing further. Emma drove the speedboat quickly and broke through the glass to enter the building. They all climbed onto the speedboat and quickly escaped the area. Despite all their efforts, Blake remained unconscious. After several attempts, Blake regained consciousness. Gradually, the destruction in San Andreas subsided. All that remained were ruins and the agony of death. In the final scene, Ray, his family, Ben, and Ollie are seen reaching a safe place. By then, the devastation had ceased. And the movie ends here. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.